Hi students, today we are going to study about Teleprime. So in the previous videos you have already learned how to download Teleprime, how to create the company, how to prepare the ledgers, and also in the last video I have taught you about how to do a final account sum. Now, what is the special about today's sum is that today we are going to do the tally sum with GST. Generally, the students are facing the problem of GST in Tele Prime. So, I have prepared a very basic sum with only one or two GST transaction. So in this sum, I have just put GST entry in the one transaction of purchase and in one transaction of sales, just to give you knowledge about how we put up the GST details, how we prepare the GST accounts, and how we do the sum. So let's proceed. Before proceeding, the screen is in front of you, and if you want to take the picture or the screenshot of the screen, you can take, so that when we do the sum, you are clear with the sum. So I hope you all have taken the screenshot of the sum which we are going to do today, tally with GST. And also I will request you to take the picture of this journal entries and ledgers which I have prepared for this sum, so that whenever I do the vouchers, you are clear that what journal entries I am inserting in the vouchers and which voucher I am putting which journal entry. So I hope this will help you a lot. And even after taking the picture, you want to zoom it, you can just zoom it for the clarity in your mobile phones or in your laptops. Now let us begin with the sum. Now in Tally with GST sum, I will let you know how to put GST details, how the automatic GST calculation arrives, and how we treat it, right? This is especially for the students who are facing the examination of Tele Prime and Tele Prime with GST. Now, first of all, let us create the company. Okay, now this time I am giving the name Text and Tricks with GST. Okay, so and when we create a company with GST, we have to ensure that we mention the state. It is very, very important. In our question, as you can see the question, in the starting details, it is given name, address, email ID, currency, GST number, and state given is Delhi. So in our question, the detail, if I share the question or if I read the question in front of you, you can see here, you can very clearly see here this question is very similar to the question which we did in the previous video. The only changes of GST. Okay, so it is clearly given the name, address, mail ID, currency, GST number, and state. It is given Delhi. Okay, then it is given that all the purchase and sales transactions, payment to creditors, receipt from debtors are done through OBC bank account. Any other payment and receipt is done through SBI, and all transactions with registered debtor and registered creditor involves 12% GST and are done within Delhi. So whatever GST transactions we are doing, it is done within Delhi, right? So for your knowledge, basically there are three types of GST. One is central GST, that is CGST. Second one is SGST, that is state-wise GST. And third one is integrated GST, that is IGST, right? CGST is within the state transactions. SGST is within the state transactions, but when we do the transactions between two states, it is called as integrated GST, right? But in our sum, we are only dealing with CGST and SGST because all the transactions with the registered debtor and creditor are within Delhi. Okay. Now, opening balance sheet, stock details. The only difference is here the debtors type is given to us, whether they are registered or unregistered. Transactions remains the same. Only one sales transaction is with registered debtor and one purchase transaction is with registered creditor. Rest all remains the same as we did in the previous video. Okay, so let us now start the sum. So I am creating the company. I have mentioned state Delhi. Rest details, if you want to mention, you can definitely mention it. Maintain accounts, yes. Bill wise entry, you can say no because we don't require that. Enable GST details, yes. And enable TDS, no. As soon as we press enter, enable GST details, yes, this GST details we have to fill. So GST state is Delhi, registration type is regular. This is no. GST applicable date is 1st April 2022. Now we have to put in the GST number of the company. So you can see in the beginning of the question, the GST number is given to us 071234 times G 1314 R 9Z6, right? Then monthly, then this all will remain no. This e-way bill applicable will remain yes. If threshold limit you want to change, you can change the limit, otherwise it's okay. So here is the GST details which we have to fill in. Okay. Then TDS we will say no. So these are the basic settings which you have to. Okay, so now we have created the company. So as we did in the previous sum, here also we have to create all the ledgers. So I will go to chart of accounts. I will go to ledgers and I will go to multi masters and I will go to multi create and I will create all the ledgers from the liability side. So first one is capital under the head capital account 19 lakh. Only few changes are there from the previous sum. Rest all remains the same. Only from the GST perspective, there are few changes. Rest all remains the same. It will come under reserves and surplus 7 lakh rupees. Then it is P&L account as it is already inbuilt. We don't prepare P&L account. Secured loans 8 lakh rupees. Then debentures. Debentures are always secured loans, which will be 10 lakh rupees. Then loan from promoters are unsecured loans, 2 lakh rupees. Then provision for tax, that comes under provisions, 2,50,000 rupees. Then bills payable. Bills payable are your current liabilities. You should also remember these groups, under which group which head will belong to, because this also has its marks. Bills payable, creditors I will not prepare right now. I will prepare it later on because further details of creditors are also given. Outstanding salaries, current liabilities, that is 35,000, right? And outstanding rent is 60,000. That is also your current liabilities. Now you can see from the liability side only P&L account is not prepared because it is your inbuilt account, and creditors we will prepare it later because the other details are also given. Now on the asset side we will prepare land and buildings, which will come under the heading fixed assets 16 lakh rupees. Then plant and machinery. Plant and machinery is fixed asset, that will be rupees 5 lakh. Then furniture. Furniture is your fixed asset, 5 lakh rupees. Then investment. Investment comes under the heading investments, so ensure that. And investments is 1 lakh rupees. Then stock, we will prepare it later on because further details are given. Debtors we will prepare later on because further details are given. Bills receivables, is a current asset and the amount is 55,000. Then SBI bank account amount is rupees 5 lakh, and Oriental Bank of Commerce and amount is rupees 3,20,000. Right, and it is also said to us that all the debtors and creditors transactions are done through OBC bank account and all the other transactions are done through SBI account. Cash we will not prepare because it is an inbuilt ledger. Prepaid insurance is your current asset. It is 7,800. Right, so likewise from the liability side I have not prepared yet PNL and creditor, and from the asset side I have not prepared stock, debtors and cash, because cash and PNL are inbuilt ledgers. I will press accept, yes, I can press Y, or I can just press enter. Now if I go to this view, that is F5 ledger view, you can press F5. So whatever ledgers you have created will appear on the screen. And also two more ledgers will appear, that is cash and P&L. So I will press enter on the cash ledger and I will enter the opening balance, that is 20,000. And similarly, I will also press enter to profit and loss account and I will also enter 3 lakh rupees as the opening balance on the credit side. Now the only ledgers remaining are stock, debtors and creditors. Now in the previous sum, I allowed you to prepare the multiple ledger for debtor and creditor. But in this sum, as you can see in your question, the details of debtors and creditors, in each debtor, we have to specify whether they are unregistered or regular or registered debtors and creditors. So in this case, we have to prepare individual debtor and individual creditor ledger account different from the previous sum. So I will go to create, the shortcut key is C, right? And I will go to ledger and I will prepare individual ledger for debtor and creditor for so that I can mention registered or unregistered in a particular debtor and creditor. So first of all, let us prepare for debtors. First debtor is Pooja. She is a debtor. Pooja, state I will write Delhi only, right? Is she a registered one? No, she is unregistered. You can say regular or you can say registered, that is one and the same thing. Okay, I will go for unregistered. Opening balance is 45,000. Okay, then I will go to Prerna. Okay, Prerna is also your debtor. Prerna is unregistered debtor. Prerna is also unregistered debtor and amount is 89,000. Right? And Pavan, we will go to Pavan. Pavan is also your debtor and he is also in Delhi. We will assume that all the debtors are from Delhi and he is also unregistered. So Pavan opening amount is 52,000. Now we will go to Pankaj. Now Pankaj is a registered debtor. So he's from Delhi, I assume, and he's a regular one. So now I have to put in the GST number. So in your question, if you see number 3 transactions below, then you can see the GST number of Pankaj. In number 3 transaction sales to Pankaj, you can see the GST number, which is 07 triple ACR 5055 K1 Z9. So this is the GST number. No need to set the GST details as of now. And the amount of Pankaj is 30,000. Okay. Next, we will go to Prakash. Daters. Prakash is also in Delhi and Prakash is also unregistered. And Prakash, 46,000 is the opening balance. Right. So all the details I have prepared the ledgers and I have mentioned whether they are regular or unregistered. Now creditors. First creditor is Shalu. Shalu is my creditor. Shalu, I will say that all remains in Delhi, all lives in Delhi. She is unregistered. And Shalu's amount is 25,000 opening balance. Now Sangeeta. Sangeeta is the registered one. So Sangeeta is the registered, that is regular. And if you see transaction number 7, purchase from Sangeeta, you can enter the GST number AAACT 2727. Be careful while recalling the GST number Q1ZY. No need to enter the GST details as of now. And Sangeeta balance is 30,500. Okay, then it is Sapna. Sapna is an unregistered one, and the balance of Sapna is 67,500. Then is Sandeep. Sandeep is a creditor, and Sandeep is an unregistered one. And the amount of Sandeep is 42,600. Right? And then going to Siddharth. Siddharth is also unregistered, though unregistered, but I will mention state Delhi only. Okay, and amount is 59,000. Right, so in this manner, I have mentioned each debtor, each creditor along with whether they are unregistered or regular. Now we need to prepare the stock ledger. Debtors, creditors are done, cash P&L are done. Now only remaining is stock. So for the stock also, I will go to Gateway of Delhi, then I will go to create. First, I will create stock group. So I have two stock group. First is shirts. Under the group primary, should quantities be added? Yes. You can set the GST details here also. Either you can set the GST details in items, but as in the question is given that all the items or all the groups have 12% GST, so I can set the GST details right here also, right? So I will press set GST details, yes, enter. Now, if you cannot see this four bifurcations, you can press F12. I will show you. F12. I will say no here. And you can see that only two bifurcations are there. That is, two text types are there. If I want four text types, I can press F12. I can press show all GST text types, yes. And then there will be four types of text. Now, taxability, yes, it is taxable. uh, what is the total tax? 12%, right? 6% go to central tax, that is CGST, and 6% goes to SGST because it is within the state. And I will press enter. So right here only you can enter the GST percentage. Okay, instead of entering in each item. Or if you want to enter in each item, you can enter in each item as well. That is your wish. Should quantities be added? GST details, yes. Oh, I will enter again. Yes. Sorry. Sorry. I made making a mistake. Except no. Should quantities be added? Set GST details. Yes. Now, as I'm pressing unknown, so it is going back. So it is essential that I press here taxable. Okay. And it is 12%. Okay. Now I have prepared the two groups. Right now I will go for the units. My units is pieces and the full form is pieces. Okay. Now escape, and now I will enter each item. Now, as I have already mentioned the GST percentage in stock group, so I don't need to mention in each and every item. I can simply enter the item. So it is cotton shirts under the group shirts, pieces. Okay, GST applicable. You can just write that. Okay, no need to enter set GST details because I have already mentioned in the group. Quantity is 100 pieces. If you don't mention in the group, then you have to mention here's GST details. That is your wish. Either mention in the stock group or mention in each and every item. So quantity is 100 pieces. Rate is 600. Value is 60,000. Then next is woolen shirts applicable pieces, applicable, GST applicable. Woolen shirts, 125 pieces. 1000 rupees. Okay, and then terracotta shirts, pieces, applicable goods, terracotta shirts 108 pieces, rate is 600. Now denim trousers, it will come under trousers, pieces, applicable, denim trousers is 400 pieces and the rate is 1500. Then it is woolen trousers, pieces, applicable, woolen trousers, it is 100 pieces at the rate is 2500. Cotton trousers, cotton trousers, applicable, and cotton trousers 500 pieces 1250. Okay, so I have prepared each and every stock item, right? And if I want to see the stock summary, I can go here in the stock summary and I can visualize that shirts and trousers. So there are you can visualize the stock item wise. So all the item must be here. All the shirts and trousers are here, and the total is correct. That is 17,24,800. Okay, now let us see the opening balance sheet, and it should match as per your question. That is 55,89,600. For if you want the detailed balance sheet, you can press alt plus F1 and you can see the detailed balance sheet. If any mistake, you can compare your balance sheet here from the question, and wherever the figure mistake is there, you can just find it out and you can correct that ledger or voucher. Okay, now let us move on to the vouchers. Okay, now let us do the vouchers. Now you can open the file which I have asked you to take the screenshot. So with this you will be very helpful, because I have prepared each and every journal entry, each and every voucher which we are now going to do. So you can just open your file of words and vouchers, or the photograph of the words and vouchers, right? And we are going to start with the vouchers now. For the vouchers, we will go to vouchers. First voucher is purchase from Shalu. So I will go to the purchase voucher as it is a credit purchase, right? Party name is Shalu. Okay. Now purchase ledger is not created. So I have to create the purchase ledger. And from the voucher, if you want to create the purchase ledger, the shortcut key is Alt plus C, right? And I will create the purchase ledger, which will come under the heading purchase accounts. Now you have to be very careful about mentioning whether the purchase account is GST applicable or not. Now, as Shalu is my uh, unregistered creditor, so purchase with Shalu is not applicable. So as of now, my purchase is not taxable. So I am creating here GST not applicable, right? Because right now when I am purchasing with Shalu, my purchase the tax is not applicable, because Shalu is an unregistered creditor. So I am mentioning the purchase not applicable. Okay, now I have purchased cotton shirts 20 and the amount is 7,000. You can just skip the rate and you can just enter the amount. Rate will automatically adjust. First voucher is done. Now second is sales voucher. We will go to F8. Party name is Prerna. Again, I will create Alt plus C, sales ledger. Now in GST sum, I have to be very careful with the GST details, okay? So here also, when I am doing sales with Prerna is unregistered data. So here also GST is not applicable, right? And Prerna, I have sold woolen shirts, 125 pieces, and the amount is 2,40,000. Right? Now come the registered creditor Pankaj, registered debtor, sorry, Pankaj, and with him we have GST sales. right? So I will go to sales voucher F 8, and the name is Pankaj. Now here I cannot use this sales ledger. Why? Because here the sales in this ledger of sales, I have uh, given the entry of GST not applicable. But now I want the sales in which the GST is applicable. So I will prepare the new sales taxable ledger account. So I will go to Alt plus C, and now I will prepare a new ledger for sales called as sales taxable. Why I am preparing this? Because in this I have to mention my GST is applicable, right? And it is applicable on goods. So as I want to mention that GST is applicable with Pankaj because it is a registered sales, that is why I am creating a new ledger that is sales taxable. Now in tax classification details also I have to mention that my sales is taxable. I have to mention that my sales is taxable. Okay. Now to Pankaj, I am selling denim trousers, 100 rupees. Rate is 4,50,000. Now press enter, press one more enter and create two ledgers, CGST and SGST. So Alt plus C, first of all I will create CGST, which will come, that is central GST, because as we know, when we do the sales within the state, then the tax is divided into two, CGST and SGST. So out of 12%, 6% will go to central and 6% will go to state. So I am writing duties and taxes. Then here I will choose types of duty, that is GST. And yes, it is a central tax. Percentage of calculation, I can write 6% because out of 12, 6 to central and 6 to state, right? And then I will press enter. So you can see the automatic calculation comes here because I have mentioned that my sales is taxable. Hence the automatic calculation will arrive here. Now I will prepare one more ledger, that is for state GST, duties and taxes. It is on GST. It is a state tax because it is within the state. So CGST and SGST, and the percentage of calculation is 6%. Now here also automatically it will calculate 6%, 27,000. Right, so the automatic calculation arrives here. Just press enter, enter, enter for rest of the things. Right, so in the registered seller I have prepared the new ledger of sales. I have mentioned that GST is applicable. I have prepared CGST and SGST ledger, and automatically the figure arrives. Right, enter, just press enter. Now number 4, coming back to Shalu. Now Shalu paid money to Shalu. So I have paid money, so I will go to the payment voucher. So to Shalu, how much I have paid? Shalu, I have paid 6,800, right? But actually, I needed to pay 7,000, but I have paid 6,800. So as you can see in the ledger also, that Shalu 7,000. All the debtors and creditors payment are done through OBC. It was written in very beginning. So now I am doing a combined entry. In the previous sum, I made you do two entries, one in the payment voucher and another one in the journal voucher. But now in this sum, I am doing a combined entry because it becomes easy for us to do the combined entry. Okay, so here you can just press enter. So I have paid 6,800 and 200 is my discount receipt. So Alt plus C, new ledger, that is discount received, which is my indirect income. Now here you need to mention that GST not applicable. It is very important because in the end we want uncertain transaction zero. So it is very important to mention GST applicable, not applicable here. Otherwise there will be a mistake in the end. Okay. So I have done the combined payment entry. It becomes easy for us to do as compared to the previous video. Okay. Then received from Prerna 2,35,000. So I will go to receive voucher. Right now, what will be the journal entry I have received? So OBC 2,35,000, discount allowed will be 5,000, and to Prerna will be 2,40,000. So credit side Prerna will come. Amount will be 2,40,000. right? And in the OBC bank account, we have received on the debit side 2,35,000, and rest of the 5,000 is discount allowed. So Alt plus C, new ledger of discount allowed will be prepared, which is an indirect expense. Very important to mention here, GST not applicable, right? So that there is no error in the end. And here also I have done the combine entry as compared to the previous video, because it becomes easy for us to do the entry. Okay. Now, pay to Sapna in full settlement 65,000. You can see that Sapna is our opening creditor and her balance is 67,500. But we have paid her 65,000. So we will go to payment, right? सपना सपना को हम ओ करते हैं 67,500, but via OBC we have paid 65,000. So rest 2,500 will be discount received, and we already have the ledger, right? Simply I have done the combine entry for your ease and for your comfort zone. So now we are going to do the purchase transaction with the creditor Sangeeta, who is our registered creditor. Okay. So now here in the purchase voucher, I will mention the name Sangeeta. Now I have created a purchase ledger in which I have mentioned that GST is not applicable. So Alt plus C, I will create a new ledger known as purchase taxable, right? And it will come under the same account, that is purchase accounts. GST is applicable on goods, right? And here it will be the purchase taxable. Tax classification. So here also I have to mention that it is purchase taxable. Now I am purchasing what from Sangeeta? Woolen shirts, right? Quantity is 160. Rate I don't know, but amount is 1,60,000. One enter, again enter, CGST. Already the ledger has been created. Automatically the amount will come. SGST 6%, automatically the amount will come, right? Now just press enter to rest of the details, and we will press enter. Now purchase from Sapna. So this is from unregistered one. So purchase from Sapna, purchase is not taxable. So from Sapna, I have purchased cotton shirts. 200 cotton shirts I have purchased from Sapna, and the amount is rupees 2 lakh. Okay. And now going from sales to puja. So I will go to sales voucher, and name is puja, and here it is also not taxable sales. So from puja at 10% trade discount, I have purchased terracotta shirts. 95 shirts I have purchased, right? Now the rate is 2,000, but if we will do manually 10% trade discount, then it will be 1,800, right? We never record trade discount, okay? And it is not taxable. Now, now we have purchased furniture. So if we have purchased, we will go to the payment voucher, as you know the rules of the voucher. So we have purchased furniture and the amount is 25,000. All the other payments are done through SBI as mentioned in the question. Then we have paid insurance premium. So Alt plus C, we will prepare the insurance premium ledger. Now do not forget to mention that GST is not applicable, okay? Insurance premium is indirect expenses. Do remember to mention not applicable, otherwise there will be an error at the end. Insurance premium I have paid, that is 15,600 via SBI. 15,600. Okay. Now in the journal voucher we will go, and the question, the transaction is land and building is purchased for 10 lakh, and we have given bank loan 6 lakh and debenture 4 lakh. So same, it is like the previous sum only. So land and building we have purchased for 10 lakh rupees, and debentures we have paid 4 lakh, and bank loan. So Alt plus C, we need to create the bank loan ledger, right? And bank loan is your secured loan always. You need to mention that GST is not applicable on the bank loan, and he is unregistered. The person who has given us the bank loan is unregistered. The bank is unregistered. Okay. Then sold all the investments. Okay, so as we have sold the investment, so we have received 2,50,000. So I will go to receipt voucher. Now, unlike in the previous video, here I will do a combine entry. So you can see in the question in the opening balance sheet that the investment given to you is of 1 lakh, but we have sold it for 2,50,000. So the journal entry will be that we have received in our bank account SBI 2,50,000, and we have sold an investment of 1 lakh, and the 1,50,000 is profit, right? So I will write here in the credit side that investment sold is for 1 lakh and profit is of 1,50,000. So Alt plus C, I will prepare the ledger of profit on sale of investment, right? And it will be an indirect expense. Do not forget to mention that GST is not applicable. Sorry, GST is not applicable. Do not forget to mention 1,50,000 is the profit, and we have received in our SBI bank account 2,50,000. So instead of doing the two ledgers separately, that is one is receipt and one is journal, I have given the combined ledger so that it becomes easy for you. So whenever it is a combined journal entry, you can do one ledger. So sorry, you can prepare only one voucher instead of preparing two vouchers separately, receipt and journal. You can just prepare one voucher, so it becomes easy for you to do the sum. Now we will do all the payments in point number 15. Okay, so first is outstanding salary, which we have paid 20,000. You can also see the word file which I have asked you to take the screenshot of. It will be a debit. After outstanding salary, electricity. Alt plus C, we need to create the electricity ledger as we do not have. Indirect expense, do not forget to mention that it is not applicable GST. Electricity, we have paid 10,000, debit. Now it is telephone. So again Alt plus C, and we will create new ledger, that is telephone. Indirect expense, not applicable. So telephone bill we have paid 5,000 rupees. Again debit. Current salary ledger is not there. So Alt plus C, we need to prepare the current salary ledger because only outstanding salary ledger has been prepared. Do not forget to mention not applicable. Current salary we have paid, that is 50,000. Then there is rent, and in the bracket it is written that you have also paid the outstanding rent. So if you see in the balance sheet, the outstanding rent in the balance sheet given is of 60,000. So we have paid that 60,000, and remaining 20,000 I can say is the current rent. So Alt plus C, I will prepare the ledger for the rent, and I will mention here that it is not applicable. And the current rent out of 80,000, 60,000 is outstanding. So 20,000 will be the current rent. And whenever we pay tax for the last year, so we use the word provision for tax. So that is 1,80,000. And all the payments are done via SBI account. Right? Now I am going to the next point 15. I have written in your word file that you can refer the ledgers for that. I will show you the ledgers in the end. And now I am doing the calculation of depreciation. Okay, so that will be in the journal. Okay, so first of all, I will create the ledger of depreciation, which is also GST indirect expense, and GST is not applicable. Do not forget to mention in each and every ledger that GST is not applicable. Now, if we see the word file, right? If you see the depreciation, so in the question it is mentioned that depreciation is to be calculated for 6 months only, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. On furniture it is 15%. So on furniture, 5 lakh is the opening balance of furniture. 25,000 we have purchased during the year. So 5,25,000 into 15% into 6 divided by 12. So the figure arrives, that is 39,375, right? 5 lakh opening balance, 25,000 purchase during the year. So total depreciation 15% and for 6 months, right? So I will go to the tally prime and I will write the figure 39,375. Now this depreciation is on furniture. Okay. Now again we will mention the depreciation which is on plant and machinery. You can check the opening balance of plant and machinery, that is 5 lakh rupees and 8% on 5 lakh and for 6 months. So it will be 20,000. So I will write on plant and machinery it is 20,000. Right. So I hope the calculation is clear to you. Right. Now coming on to the ledgers, point number 15. Okay. So we have been given the closing balances of the three ledgers, right? So I will prepare three ledgers in point number 15. Outstanding salary, provision for tax, outstanding rent. Now the closing balances are given in point 15. 50,000 for outstanding salary, 1,50,000 for provision for tax, and 40,000 for outstanding rent. Let us find the opening balance from the balance sheet. Opening balance sheet brought forward 35,000 outstanding salary, 2,50,000 brought forward provision for tax, and 60,000 balance brought forward outstanding rent, right? Now in point number 14 you can see that outstanding salary via SBI has been paid 20,000. Provision for tax via SBI has been paid 1,80,000, and in point number 14 outstanding rent has been paid via SBI 60,000, right? Now the remaining balance of outstanding salary will be transferred to salary account, and the entry will be salary to outstanding salary 35,000, right? And that will be recorded in the journal voucher. Salary 35,000, the remaining balance to outstanding salary, right? Similarly, if you see another one, the balance of provision for tax is 80,000. It will be transferred to PNL. So PNL to provision for tax 80,000, which will come in the journal voucher. So profit and loss account 80,000 to provision for tax 80,000, right? And you can see the last one. Outstanding rent, the closing balance is 40,000. So it will be rent to outstanding rent 40,000. And it will come in the journal voucher. Rent 40,000 to outstanding rent 40,000. Right? Now the sum has been completed. All the transactions of GST as well as non-GST has been done. Now let us see whether we are able to match our balance sheet or not. Alt plus F1, right? You can see the balance sheet has been matched and one more entry is remaining that you can see in the Word file, that is point number 18. One more journal entry is there, that is we have paid the GST, right? So how can we find this GST amount? You can see the duties and taxes, that is 34,800. If I press enter, I can see that CGST I have to pay as a liability 17,400 and SGST I have to pay as a liability 17,400. So what I'm going to do is I will go to the payment voucher. I will go to voucher. I will go to payment voucher. I will type here CGST I have to pay at the end of the year 17,400, and also I have to pay SGST 17,400, and that I will pay via SBI. So this payment of GST you have to do. Then only your sum will be correct, because whatever liability of GST has been arisen, you have paid that. Alt plus F. Now this is your complete balance sheet. You can even take the screenshot of the balance sheet. And if you want to check whether your sum is correct or not, so you will go to whether your GST effects are correct or not. You will go to display more reports. You will go to GST reports. Then you will go to GST report 3B. And in uncertain transaction, if it is zero, right? If in uncertain transaction it is zero, then your GST entries are perfect. There is no uncertain transaction. Your GST is perfect, right? So I hope this video is very helpful to you. You can come to know that how we can do the simplest GST transaction, how we can do the effects of GST. Hope this video is useful to you. Please subscribe and like the video. And if any doubts, do comment. I will try my best to answer as soon as possible. Thank you.